So a lot of people often when I'm on tour ask me the difference or my personal preference between the PRS pad that has the foam bottom or neoprene bottom and the other one that has felt bottom. Well, let me explain a couple things. First of all, it's personal choice for sure, okay? But the actual function of the PRS pad, people need to understand why it's used, how come I use it, etc. The main reason I invented it a little bit over 15 years ago now is because when you take a saddle off a horse's back and you see two dry spots either side of their withers, when the horse is really sweaty, of course, you may see two dry spots either side of his withers. What that means is there's too much pressure from the bars of the saddle right on that area. And what that does is when there's too much pressure, it shuts off the sweat glands underneath the horse's skin. That's why they don't sweat in those two little areas, but they'll sweat everywhere else. When you release some of that pressure off their withers from the bars of the saddle, okay, they'll start sweating again. So ideally, in a perfect world, you want to take a saddle off a horse and have the horse's entire back sweaty, everything completely sweaty. So what the PRS pad does is these two indentations right here on either side of the withers, what you'll do is you'll sit your saddle on the PRS pad and you'll put the bars of the saddle in these two holes. So the outside here of the pad takes some of the pressure off right here. So the PRS pad will basically take away pressure from the bars of the saddle on your horse's withers. Now, does the PRS pad make a bad fitting saddle a good fitting saddle? The answer is no. But it'll make any poor fitting saddle a lot better. It'll make any saddle fit your horse much better. So I actually like the one with the neoprene bottom, mainly because it's easy to wash it off. If there's any sort of fungus in your barn, you can disinfect it. It'll dry very quickly. So this is my personal choice, okay? It's neoprene on the bottom. You'll notice that there's a slit here in the withers. I like the slit because it lets the horse's mane come through here so it's not jerking on their mane. And when the horse is trotting or moving, each side of the saddle pad can move a little bit independently of the other side, okay? So this has been a favorite pad of mine for well over 15 years now. And it's really helped thousands of horses all over the country. The other type of PRS pad we have is the exact same design, but this one has a felt bottom, okay? And it has a suede or leather top. Works just as good as this one, so I want to make this very clear. I don't personally use this one as much because when I'm training 10 horses a day, this felt gets logged with sweat. Now, if you've only got 1 or 2 horses, this will be perfectly fine because it'll have time to dry by the next day. If I rode 10 horses in this felt pad, it would be 100 pounds by the end of the day because it'd be so full of sweat and it won't dry overnight for the next day, okay? So again, some people say, I don't like neoprene, etc. I've never had a trouble with neoprene pads, burning horses or blisters or anything like that. I've never had any trouble with that ever, basically. So, again, it's personal preference, okay? If your shoes are just too small, you wear a size 9 shoe, but you're really wearing a size 7, it doesn't matter what socks you wear, it's still the wrong fitting shoe for you. So again, I can't stress enough, it's not a miracle pad where it's just going to make a really piss poor, badly made saddle fit your horse, okay? But it will make any saddle fit your horse better, and that's what I use on my horses. If you've liked this information and you want additional, don't forget to download the Down Under Horsemanship app. You can get it from the Google store or the Android store or Apple Store. It's a free app. And on the app, there's over 200 hours of free training information. Doesn't cost you a cent. Obviously, if you become a No Worries Club member, you get access to all of my kits, all of the information that I've ever produced in the last 20 years. You get all of it as part of your membership fee. But there's over 200 hours that's for free. So I hope you've enjoyed these tips, mate. Until next week, we'll see you back here again at Down Under Horsemanship.